Riders get slammed into steel, stomped into the dirt. Bones snapped. And it's not just in the finals. These wrecks happen anywhere, anytime a bull explodes from the chute.
Say his first score this week. This is Mickey Mouse.
Let's ride, Cody. Oh.
Here are the 10 most gut-wrenching wrecks ever. The bulls, the riders, the moments that still leave fans breathless. Let's begin with Bellagio, the bull that crushed Brendan Clark's ride and his breath. Bellagio was no ordinary bull, and Brendan Clark found out in the ugliest way. The wreck happened during the 2013 PBRB FTS DeWalt Guaranteed Tough Invitational. From the moment the gate cracked, it didn't look right. Bellagio twisted in with raw power, throwing Clark off balance before he could settle in. Instead of hitting the dirt clean, Clark was grabbed, slammed, and driven down. A move that looked less like bull riding and more like a wrestling takedown.
Hadley Cattle Company, and he's just a 3-year-old, has a really...
Clark was on the ground, gasping for air, his body refusing to respond. Fans went silent, watching a man fight just to breathe. The wreck left its mark, not just on his body, but on everyone who saw it. Then came Firehouse, throwing Agnaldo Cardoozo headfirst into the ground. When Firehouse burst out of the chute, Agnaldo Cardoozo didn't stand a chance. The bull came out twisting, jerking, throwing every ounce of muscle it had.
His last 6.
Whoa.
Within seconds, Cardoozo was gone. Bucked off, tossed like nothing. The wreck happened during the 2015 PBR World Finals. No roll, no save, just headfirst into the dirt. The crowd froze. The announcers went quiet, because everybody knows how dangerous that kind of landing is.
Absolutely launched him.
Yeah, you can see that hip swing around and hit him, man.
Head and face injuries are brutal, but the head, that can end careers in a heartbeat. If Cardoozo's wreck shook you, wait till you see Mickey Mouse crush Justin Coon. Mickey Mouse might sound like a harmless name, but the bull that carried it now was anything but harmless.
First score this week. This is Mickey Mouse.
This wreck was recorded during the 2012 PBR Built Ford Tough World Finals. Justin climbed aboard, ready for his 8 seconds. What he got instead was pure punishment. Mickey Mouse exploded with a move so violent, Justin didn't just get thrown, he got floored.
Dropped, runs him back on the end of his arm, and that's when you're gonna get jerked down the hardest.
The bull drove him into the dirt before the crowd could take a breath. Justin hit with a sickening thud, his body folding under the force. Silence swept the arena as the danger sank in. A knockout doesn't take long in bull riding. One wrong move, one bad twist, and the lights are out. And just when you think it couldn't get uglier, Whiskey's Rebel threw Agnaldo Cardoozo straight into the dirt. Whiskey's Rebel carved his place in rodeo history by doing what riders fear the most, launching a man sky high. Agnaldo Cardoozo was the unlucky rider strapped to this ticking time bomb. It was during the 2013 Dickies Iron Cowboy. Whiskey's Rebel exploded out of the chute with raw power, sending Cardoozo flying higher than anyone expected. Gravity took over. He came down face first, nose smashed, body stunned.
And right here, he tries to hang on for that last little bit, and that bull, when it jerks him off.
The crowd gasped. Bull riding fans felt the hit deep in their chest. This wasn't a simple fall. It was a brutal reminder that a bull's strength can lift and drop you like a puppet. Cardoozo's wreck stands out because it was more than losing balance. It was a face-first crash into pain. Then came Carrillo Cartel, the bull who left Pistol Robinson with 2 broken legs. The 2012 PBR season opener at Madison Square Garden turned into a nightmare for Pistol Robinson. Carrillo Cartel, a bull already feared in the circuit, came out harder than expected. Robinson didn't just get bucked off, he got wrecked in a way that would change his life forever. The force shattered him. His right femur snapped, his left tibia and fibula destroyed, both legs broken, body mangled under the weight of raw power.
No, this is the guy I want. I know who it was that was on me. Boy, and I mean Creole Cartel.
He couldn't even get out of bed for months, stuck between pain and recovery. He wasn't able to sit in a wheelchair. Doctors worked to rebuild what the bull had crushed. But the mental battle, that was just as heavy. That wreck reminded everyone in the arena how close bull riding sits like to disaster. You think Robinson had it rough? The bull Game On crushed Cody Tease before he even hit 8. Game On wasn't just tough, he was unpredictable. Cody Tease strapped in, probably thinking he could settle in for the ride, but he barely got started before the 8-second clock even mattered. Cody Tease was already slammed into the dirt.
Let's ride, Cody. Oh.
It was during the 2013 Brisbane Invitational. Game On threw a savage move without warning, snapping Tease off balance instantly. The fall wasn't the end though. What made it terrifying was how quickly it all happened. You could feel the weight of how brutal the sport really is. Getting bucked off early is one thing. Getting smashed before you even have time to react is another. Game On showed everyone, and he didn't need 8 seconds to make his mark. Then Wicked showed up and crushed Sosi's leg under his 2,000-pound weight. The 2014 PBR Championship round turned into the stage for one of the most vicious wrecks the sport has ever seen. Genon Sosi climbed aboard Wicked, and the name fit this bull perfectly. For the first few seconds, it looked like any other brutal ride, but then came the stomp. Wicked came down with all 2,000 pounds, right on Sosi's leg. The sound was sickening, bones snapping in front of the whole crowd. The arena went silent for a moment, fans holding their breath, while Sosi lay crushed under the weight.
And then for a second, it looked like he was going to get away.
Medical staff rushed in, but the damage was already done. That one stomp turned muscle and bone into splinters. Riders know bulls are strong, but when the crowd hears a leg break, it's a nightmare nobody forgets. Wicked snapped a leg, but Warbird dragged Robinson through a storm of brutal kicks. Warbird was the kind of bull that gave no mercy, and Billy Robinson learned that the hard way. Robinson got hung up on Warbird, and that's where everything went wrong.
Bringing us this one. Billy Robinson in trouble early and hung up, and he's going to take a beat.
It was round 1 of the 2014 BFTS Liftmaster chute. Instead of falling clear after being bucked, his hand got stuck. The bull dragged him, tossed him, slammed him again and again. The seconds stretched out, longer than the 8 needed to complete a ride.
Right here. So you can see the licks being taken.
Warbird punished Robinson, exposing him to kicks and brute force that no rider wants to feel. Even the bullfighter struggled to pull him free, while Warbird kept hammering away. For Robinson, it wasn't about finishing the ride. It was about surviving a storm of power he couldn't escape. Finally, the bullfighters yanked him loose. He didn't walk away easy, but he did walk away alive. Then Pound the Alarm took over, crushing Marco Aguchi with hits no rider should survive. Pound the Alarm wasn't a bull, he was destruction on 4 legs. Marco Aguchi climbed on, ready for a fight, but what he got was pure punishment. This was violent, relentless, cruel. Aguchi came off rough, and instead of clearing the arena, he met the horns and hooves of a bull that didn't back off. Pound the Alarm hammered him, catching him with violent shots. That left even seasoned fans wincing.
Right there, and he gets down to the inside and just goes down in there. Bull steps right in the middle of him.
It was the 15th bucking battle. The force knocked him down hard, and it was a miracle. He managed to get up at all. Aguchi later admitted, bull riding teaches you not to underestimate any animal, but that lesson came with pain most riders hope to avoid. And finally, Chocolate Thunder dropped Casey Hayes with a bone-shaking thud. The 2014 PBR Championship round was set to be electric, but when Casey Hayes met Chocolate Thunder, it turned brutal. Hayes fell hard, ripped from the bull before he had time to reset. Chocolate Thunder twisted mid-air, throwing him sideways, then slammed down with brutal force, leaving Hayes crashing into the dirt, stunned and broken. The thud of his body hitting the ground echoed through the arena, sharp, gut-wrenching. The bullfighters tried to intervene, but their move came late, and for a few chilling moments, Hayes lay helpless, while Chocolate Thunder loomed above him.
Unfortunately knocked out Tanner Byrne last weekend in the 15-15.
Hayes was hurt and shaken, and though he lived to ride again, that wreck carried the kind of violence fans never forget. Chocolate Thunder proved that night why his name carries fear in rodeo circles. Which wreck hit you the hardest? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this one got you hooked, hit like and subscribe. Part 2 is coming with even more bone-crushing moments.